Where do we start? A very big misunderstanding. Tues decided to walk. Gemma wants her shoes back, more importantly. And David Guest wants some of Jeremy's cheese. I mean, you could not have written a show like that tonight. I really don't think. But not only that, there is love blossoming under the covers between Scotty T and Megan. Oh, it was weird. It was like, well, listen, we're going to be getting some romantic advice from the nation's favourite agony aunt, Denise Robertson, MBE. Plus, it is the big interview. Jonathan Chauvin in his first TV interview since his backdoor exit. And that's not it. We're going to be exclusively revealing who's up for eviction this week. Yes! We've got it all to come, but first it's time to meet tonight's panel. He's a dancer, a singer, an actor, an astrologer. It is Twinkle Toes himself, Mr. Russell Grove!
Oh, yeah!
I don't want to tell him that he's got an hole in his trousers and I've seen it. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Don't. You didn't see that in your Leo Rising.
No.
Right. She definitely brought the Triple X to Liberty X and she's making sure the heat is on. Get it? It's Michelle Heat On. Yeah! Like we've never done that one before. And he never gives excuses. I can't even speak. It's just been such a show tonight. He never gives excuses. He's always got the exclusives. It's Mr. Showbiz himself, but not that one. It's Dan Waters! Excuse me. Well, listen, there is just too much to say. So let's start with, I'm not even going to say elephant in the room. It was just crazy. Tiffany, obviously misunderstanding, and she thought that David Guest had died. Michelle.
Oh my goodness, why me first?
I know, like, where do we start?
I don't know. I was hyperventilating when I watched it. I was having palpitations and everything, and I completely understand. She completely misunderstood, but it was totally understandable why she misunderstood. I think we all would if we were in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we've both been in there, and if someone was to say a name of a housemate...
Yeah, Ryan has died, is it? Yeah, I'd be like, what?
I'd be like, oh, my God,
yeah,
I totally
absolutely.
get that.
And the thing is that, obviously, Angie, and maybe she should have, but she wasn't thinking straight. Obviously, you know, her ex-husband just passed away. Let's we not forget that this should be a time of mourning.
Of course.
And we're here, and it's something else, unfortunately. But she, maybe, obviously, in hindsight, maybe she should have said, my ex-husband has just passed away, David. Yeah. But she didn't, because she wasn't thinking straight, understandably. So, of course, Tiffany misunderstood, but her reaction, oh, my goodness.
I mean, it was... it was just... I mean, like you've just said, it was such a terrible thing that's happened for Angie, like, completely a terrible thing, and I totally respect her decision for staying in that house. I think we all do.
Yes.
I think she's made... And I just want to say as well, I mean, I've seen a lot of people on Twitter, I hope that's just cleared something up. There is no way on earth we would ever tell someone of a bereavement in their family on camera.
Not at all.
Like, I've seen a lot of tweets and stuff like that. I hope that's cleared that up. You know, her representatives were there, they informed her. You know, at the end of the day, that would never happen on camera. She's decided to go back into the house, and that's where we've picked up with
And do you know what,
Ryan?
Ryan, for me, it cemented it when she said... the press would be on me if I left.
There you go.
And as soon as she said
I totally
that,
respect that.
I totally understood.
Come on, no,
She was on about you,
Guys, you have to have some perspective on that, because that really annoyed me. She has made a career for the last 20 years talking in the press about her ex-husband, Michelle.
But in this situation, think
seriously,
about it,
and she's in the house for press. So
okay, I love you, Dan. Come on, we're going to disagree on this, but come on.
That's
her
crazy.
ex-husband just passed away, and she just said, okay,
someone who she has slagged off for 30 years, Michelle, in the press.
Okay, but in the house, for the next couple of weeks, she just said that she would just find peace.
Let's just sit here and say, well, look, we'll appreciate the whole situation. We respect anything Angie wanted to do. If she wanted to leave, if she wanted to stay, we totally respect that decision.
Yeah.
And I think we should move on from that decision because that was hers and hers alone to make, regardless of what anyone thinks. Russell, let's go back to the misunderstanding. I mean, what words are there to just even discuss what we've just seen?
There are no words, and in fact, when we watched it, there's a wonderful musical called The Producers. Do you know The Producers?
I love it, everyone.
When everybody walks when everybody walks on and sings "Springtime for Hitler," right? The audience, which is a primarily Jewish audience, go.
Just cannot believe what.
And that's what happened with us. We were just absolutely, well, we couldn't believe it.
It was like watching
it was surreal.
A farce. You know, it was. But if it was a farce or scripted, you wouldn't believe it because it would be so ridiculous.
It was just like, do you know what? I tell you what it is that got me. I think it was the utter confusion of obviously the such a sad situation in all due respect. But the fact of when Tiffany obviously started getting upset, I was like, my lord, like she's such a big fan. Like, because I still hadn't a clip.
Right.
I knew
Her reaction straight away was like, she thinks it's him in the bed.
But to make matters worse, David Guest was under the cover.
Yes.
Oh,
and he'd been complaining about being sick apparently and had been into the diary room. So in her head there was sort of a rationale.
Do you know what?
behind
Let's talk about the fallout from that. I mean, because the majority of the house turned against Tiffany pretty quick.
Yeah.
John even took it upon himself to ask Tiffany to leave the house for good. Michelle, do you think that was a fair thing to do? What are you making of that?
No, I think, look, I think that Tiffany, obviously, she overreacted, but I understand why. She believed that she heard something which Angie did not say. She did not say David Guest.
No, she didn't.
But in that heat of the moment, she believed that she heard that. I totally see both sides of the argument. I really like John, I really do. But I really don't think that he should have had the authority to ask her to leave. I think that was just too far.
You're saying...
I really feel for Tiffany as well.
I mean, you're saying in authority, he's very, very much the alpha male in there, I think. It's quite safe
I think
to
he took it a bit far there, to be honest.
Russell, what did you make of that?
Well, it's back to that theatrical analogy. We all knew what was happening. We all knew about the terrible sadness of the loss of David Bowie yesterday. We knew that David Guest was under that big green cover.
Yeah.
And so, therefore, we knew what was going on. The fact that they weren't, it's back, as Dan said, to those old Whitehall farces, when people come in one door and go out the other door and then come back in another.
It was, like Angie said, it was Angie's words, a comedy of errors. It was just so ridiculous. But the way that, you know, I can understand Tiffany's point of view, and I can also... Like we've got to appreciate, we can see it all from a bird's eye view. We can see how this has all played out. Some of the housemates haven't. Again, Tiffany got the wrong end of the stick. But Dan, how do you think the house, once everything had unravelled, once they'd revealed that Tiffany was, you know, got the wrong end of the stick, once Tiffany realised herself that she'd got the wrong end of the stick, how do you think the whole house dealt with that?
Terribly, but I think everyone dealt with the situation terribly. What was bad, though, for Tiffany is that at some point, she should have just said, hang on a moment, I made a mistake
got the wrong
here.
end of the stick.
And it was actually really nice to see her completely human reaction when she thought David Guest had died in the Big Brother house, in the diary room. You know, she was very concerned, and that was quite sweet. What was not sweet is when she tried to make out that Angie had said David Guest died, because she didn't say that.
And the two people that knew all about this, because they were in the diary room with Angie,
was John and David.
And David was lying, not dead, under a ground sheet.
In the slit, in the bed, and John was in the shower. So the two people that could have sorted this out weren't there. Where were you? Oh, well, listen, I think...
Oh, my God.
Believe me, we could talk about this all week, let alone night, but we might as well...
Yeah, not just
I think it will be spoken about.
This is one of the classic moments on British
It's
television.
It was just unreal.
But
you know
for all
what?
the wrong reasons.
Let's end on something I think we'll never be able to unsee. Let's lighten the mood. This is the moment that Jeremy kissed David Guest. Let's take a look.
Try that. How is it? Do you like it?
It's tasty.
It's tasty. Put the cream away, darling. Oh, God, I've got to taste that cream. Ugh, shit! You just fucked up my pants.
I mean, there's some things you can't unsee. Did that do anything for you, Russell?
No, it did nothing for me. In fact, what worried me was it was like a scene from Cabaret and with that little hat and everything, maybe David...
Have you got a bet with your mates to drop every musical's name into tonight's show?
Every musical I've not been in yet. But maybe David Guest, for one surreal moment, thought that was Liza.
Oh, well, there's been more misunderstandings. That could have been another one.
Because they are both
exactly.
straight men, of course.
Oh, of course, casually. Let's just move on and give you all a round of applause. Come on, there's no real line under all of that. Coming up, BFF of actual Kim Kardashian, not forgetting the GC. That's right, the man known in no less than 180 countries around the world. Jonathan Shaban's going to be here, or Chiefs. He's going to be telling us all his frank and uncensored views about why he stepped off of the UK's most famous threshold after just 6 short days. Plus, he becomes the second person to meet the truth extractor of Boreham Wood! This ain't just any old checkup. Cheebs' story in Cheebs' words straight after the break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Celebrity Big Brother's bit on the side. Oh, thanks. Right.
That's your vote gone. Chuck him up.
We'll see. Right, it's time now for what you've all been... I love you, really. I do love Russell Grant.
Your vote has just come back.
Yeah. Even though he's a stalker. Right, it's time now for what you've all been waiting for. In 6 days, he put Nancy in the slammer, gave Tiffany immunity from eviction, and then he said he couldn't handle a minute more. It's our all-American housemate. Be upstanding for Jonathan Shaban! Chiefs, you're out!
Yes.
What's going on?
Oh my God, it's like hell in there. Nobody
How does it feel to be
understands.
out?
It feels great. You know, I thought I was gonna get out on that Friday, but I kind of like regrouped and I decided to stay and give it another chance. But yesterday the house was so upside down. We were running out of food, and I just saw everything going downhill.
Well, I mean, what a day, let's be fair.
What a day. Oh, my God. I was taking a nap when all the pandemonium started. The one time I take a nap in the whole day, because we don't know what time it is. No, people don't understand. We don't know what time it is. We don't know what day it is. We don't know what we're eating. We don't know anything there, so it's crazy.
But before you left, you said it was like literally one of the best experiences that you've been a part of.
It was.
Why did it just get to you so much? That
It
you thought,
was.
oh, I ain't having it.
It was. Well, so what happened was when you get in there, everybody's so fun, and then you want to learn about everybody, so you're sitting with them, and we were laughing. They didn't show this, but when we go to sleep at night, we giggle, and we laugh hysterically for like 3 hours. So the people that are sleeping just sleep, but like Jeremy and Stephanie and I and like Gemma, we just start hysterical laughing.
You had some good times in there.
We had the best times, and that's what I meant. Like, it was amazing that there was so many fun people. I just thought it was such a great group, and it wasn't like a trashy, dirty, filthy group, which is not my
Which you could
cup
have
of
had,
tea.
in all fairness. I mean, you ain't seen the
Yeah,
other series.
yeah.
I've got to ask quickly, because I know
Yes.
something that you said to Gemma is stuck in my mind. You know, when you were contemplating leaving,
Yes.
did you think, what would Victoria Beckham do?
I actually did think...
Because we all do it!
I think everybody does, and you know, when I did think about it, I go, Victoria Beckham will put her sunglasses on before she left. And I did put my sunglasses on. No, but honestly, I was teary-eyed to leave. That's why I put my sunglasses on, because it was really, you really grow so close with these people.
It's a world within a world.
And nobody will ever understand it until they're in that house. And, you know, I watched the American version for months on end, since day one, and, like, you can never comprehend it. And I don't know how people stay in there for 3 months on the regular version. It's like...
It's a tough time. It is a tough time.
It's literally, like, crazy.
But you're known as having literally one of the most famous best friends in the world. But there's someone who has taken a part of that away from you and injected a small bit of Essex. Should we have a little look at your bots bits? Let's take a look.
I grew up in New Jersey, but I've lived in Manhattan forever and ever and ever.
I talk a bit funny because I'm from a place called Essex.
All that bread. You eat like a pig. Let's go.
I ain't the Kardashians.
We come together 'cause I'm attractive.
I know that you do want to sleep with me, but I think it would kill our friendship.
Get the fuck out of here.
We come together.
I can see it poking up a bit. I better not cuddle you anymore. Promise you're going to stay at my flat because it's pink.
Oh, God, no. You know what I feel about pink.
What the fuck is that?
With bubble gum and glitter.
No, I hate bubblegum and glitter.
That is a horrifying mess.
But it's beautiful.
It's not beautiful. Did you just fart? Holy shit, I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna throw up.
Jonathan, God, you just stay.
Get it together. Now you can fart, you can wear pink all day. You meet a good friend like that, it's definitely bittersweet.
John. I mean, you two became so close in that house, and she made you promise. I think your life may have even been in danger if you said the wrong thing.
Yeah.
But she made you promise that yous were going to do all of the things that you promised to do on the outside. So, will I see you having it up in Brentwood one night?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, look.
That's how I am.
Look.
Absolutely. I love to do fun things, and we live like a normal lifestyle. And like, you know, I have my friends in LA, and then I have my friends that I go to the mall with, you know, back in the city at home in New York. And I love to eat, you know, from like amazing, from Zuma to Novica, but then I'll literally go find like wings and pizza in the middle of these, you know, places that I love everything. I love to just constantly be on the
Gemma
move.
loves an ham sandwich. She's the first one to say that.
Yeah.
Maybe you could share a little ham sandwich.
Just no
down the
beans and
aisle.
bread.
No, we don't want all of that. But
Yeah.
listen, what was it about her that you just thought, oh, do you know what, I'm getting on with
you
it?
know what, when I started seeing the names of people going in, I started looking, and when I saw Gemma on the other show going into a helicopter and hysterical crying, I knew, I go, that's my type of girl. I go, that kind of comedy is perfect. She just makes me laugh. There's people, I only want to hang out with people that make me laugh, which is really hard.
You know, you do say, you know, you make friends easily with people and you get on with people. I know it's only been 6 days that you're in there, but do you think you've made any friends that you will actually keep as friends on the outside and stay friends?
I love Scotty T. I love Jeremy, Stephanie, Megan, Gemma. You know, Tiffany is funny, but I could only do a day with her. She'd probably end up killing me. So, but yeah, those are the people kind of. But ironically, the person I would probably most hang out with is Nancy. She's my cup of tea.
Oh, bit of she's been called on this show.
Yeah, she's my cup of tea. You know, she's very classy, and I love her. And you know,
You'd like
in
a
the
night out
house,
with Nancy.
yeah, in the house, I can't deal with her because you know what? She sleeps and then she gets ready for about 7 hours. As I've already been going and entertaining for so long and have eaten and come
There's
back.
been 2
and
evictions, and Nancy's just finished the lip liner.
You're right, right. She's like, no, they're gonna have to wait. I'm like, no, it's a live show tonight, Nancy.
They
don't wait for you. You're not Victoria Beckham.
Well, listen, you said before going in, there is no way you were going to handle being in that house without your cell phone.
Yeah.
And someone who has definitely missed you having your cell phone is a certain lady, and I think we've got a tweet for you that's come in. Let's take a look at the screen. Keeping Up with the Kardashians is on now. Watching this episode makes me miss Jonathan. He's had no phone for a week. Oh, you've been missed, Jonathan. You have been missed. Have you made any phone calls? What have you done? What's going on?
Oh my! I think I stayed up till 4 a.m. on the phone last night. I have indents from the phone, so I had like 9 chargers plugged into me, and the phone just kept charging and charging because I had so many things to catch up with, and I just didn't even want to put the phone down.
And are you all caught up now? You feel back to reality?
I do. Today I do. Yesterday we went to eat at Novikov, and I was eating so much sushi and duck rolls and everything, and I was so happy, but I couldn't even understand what was going on.
It's just a blur.
I went to sleep, and then I woke up today. First of all, I was waiting for it to say, "This is Big Brother. Wake up," and the shutters go
You do
up.
when you leave. You sit there and wait.
No, I
Hello?
swear, I found myself talking to myself today, which is really scaring me, so hopefully I don't need to see a doctor.
Well, don't worry, because you're out now. You've got us.
Yeah.
We'll have a lovely time. Let's talk about the remaining housemates. Who do you think shouldn't be crowned champion?
Shouldn't be. You know, honestly, like, people like Angie, they just sit there all day. And for me, a champion of a show is someone that provides entertainment. Now, someone like Tiffany, who's crazy, and people haven't even seen it yet, it's coming. You know, someone like that deserves to win. Someone that gives people entertainment, not people that lay in bed all day and then just go up for the tasks.
I was going to say to you, do you want to win? Would you like to see someone like Tiffany?
I would probably pick Tiffany because she's going to give it, and she's been giving it.
She's giving good show.
She's giving us. She's so funny. She could do crying and laughing like all in the same face. And that's why Tiffany's so funny, you know? So, but I hate people that are in the beds all day because I just go all day.
Get up and get involved.
Get up. Like, they just wait for the task or the food, and then they go back to the bed and whatever it is. And, like, I wake up, and the second I go, I'm talking and I'm laughing and I'm making jokes. And to me, people, like, they deserve to see that. They're sitting and investing so much time in you.
Want to see entertainment.
Absolutely. Like, don't just do it for the cut. You know, do it for the live feed, do it for do it for you.
Well, listen, I've got a bone to pick with you.
Yes.
No, No, I'm going to be nice. I don't normally like walkers. I'm not going to lie. I don't normally like people that walk out on me. I don't like it. But seeing as you've been so nice on my beautiful turquoise couch,
Yes.
I think it's only fair that you get given what everyone else gets given when they leave, don't you?
Stop it.
So,
No.
it's a little toothy
No.
ta from me to you. It's a set of Rylands farewell bangs.
Oh my God! Wow.
I want to see that on every show. I want you walking around with it.
Wow.
That is momentous.
It's amazing.
But listen, it's all lovely, but come with me.
It's just an honor to be nominated.
I mean, it's such an honour. But come with me
my
because
God. This is
from
so
such a
exciting.
lovely moment to a moment that they all dread. Jonathan, it's time that you turn red. That's it.
I kind of like that.
You're gone. Listen, we're going to hear more from him a little bit later on. He's going to be joining my glamorous panel. But for now, give it up for Tues!
Thank you.
It is time for a little break now, but coming up. Are you nervous about taking it to the next stage? Are friends spurring you, but you want to take it slow? Maybe you're having second thoughts about the relationship. Should you jump into bed on the first night or bide your time? Actually, basically, it's just Scotty's here and Megan. Are they getting it on too quickly? Denise Robertson's going to be here. She's got all the answers after the break. We'll see you after this. We'll see you after. They're just getting Welcome back to Celebrity Big Brother's bit on the side. The MBE with the strong POV. Denise Robertson's going to be airing her racy views in just a minute. And Cheebs has got an appointment at the dentist as he meets the truth extractor of Bora Bora. He's going to get a right good drilling. But first, it's time for tomorrow's headlines. In today's news. Read all about it. The clock just went. I nearly died. Are we all right? Are we all right? Hold up. Hold up. I'm on. At 11:44 this morning, John gathered the housemates to explain this week's shopping task. And it seems that Big Brother wants to pull their strings.
Puppet masters, you are in charge of the puppets. You must lead them, control them. Puppets, you must serve, respect, and obey the puppet masters at all times.
Puppet, do you want a little hug? Give me a little hug. It's all gonna be okay. You'll be out of here little later soon, okay?
I wonder how long I'm going to be in it for.
All right, so cheers. It's okay. I can see you're struggling.
Sensing a little bit of the green-eyed monster, but don't worry, Steph. I'm sure Jeremy will be back in your arms again soon. And at 12:40, John goes that little bit further and tries to pull on Tiffany's strings.
Do you think we can talk about that stuff yesterday, me and you?
Yes. I just really want to make things better. If it's a possibility. I know that I got beside myself a couple of different times, so I really do want to put it behind us as a house if we can, and I would like to assure the other housemates of their comfort, and I just would want them to know that I'm going to make a conscious effort not to disrupt or upset.
Well, it looks like they've made up. At least we've got one puppet that's under a master's control, shall we say? And at 1:31, Stephanie made sure Jeremy's hands were back where they belong.
You'll bring the sheets across to the house. No. Sorry about your head.
Oh, that's all right.
Are you doing my hands too?
I used to like that on my fingers, like.
Oh, it's so good.
Nice, isn't it?
You're filthy. It was only your shoulders and hands. And finally, at 4:13 this afternoon, Big Brother decided that it was time for some home truths, courtesy of you lot at home.
At Munza Abdullah, Tiffany has to be the most annoying housemate of all time. Hashtag CBB.
Don't like Stephanie at all. Seems like a gobby troublemaking shit stirrer. Next to go, followed by Jeremy. Hashtag CBB, hashtag CBB on the side. Boom. Cheers, doll. Hope you're having a nice night, whatever you're doing.
Tell him, girl. And that was today's news. There we go. Right. We have seen Scotty T cozying up to Meghan under them covers. And we've seen poor old Jeremy pied off more times by Stephanie than David Guest has said the words Michael and Jackson. But what does it all mean? Who better to ask than my BFF with the MBE? It's time for some words of wisdom from Denise Robertson.
Let's see what they're up to now.
Hello. How you doing? Nice to meet you. Hello. How you doing?
How are you?
I'm sweet.
It's very easy, when you're in the confined atmosphere of the Big Brother house, to crave a little bit of human warmth.
Night.
I'm all in favour of flirting, but you've got to be very careful.
Damn.
I would call that good in bed. You need to go for him.
I bet he's got a right thick one and all.
Have you not seen it for his parents?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't do away with your dignity. And somebody might be leading you up the garden path, so don't take anything for granted. Just be careful, be a little bit aloof. It's actually more attractive. Meghan needs to take that advice.
That's what Denise had to say. Jonathan, let me come to you. I mean, Scotty T and Meghan, they seem to get off to a flirty start, and you know it's developing a bit. What are you making of them two?
I've been waiting for this to kick off, so I've been peeking every night when it's dark after we go to sleep.
Oh, Jonathan!
And I think it's starting to happen, but I mean it's inevitable. These two are going to be in a bathroom somewhere in that house.
It's like Lee Ryan all over again. Dan, let me ask you. You write about all of this. These pair, they're no strangers to a bit of reality TV. Do you think it is genuine, or do you think it could be a camera one?
Genuine in absolutely no way whatsoever. And I think Meghan has gone into that house with a very, very clear objective to get a famous guy and get herself probably some more reality shows.
Scotty T, though.
Well, better than
Well, Michelle,
Jeremy, isn't it?
Let me ask you,
Fame-wise.
look, you've got a daughter. When she's old enough, I know she's only a little one, but when she's old enough, if she brought someone home like Scotty
She's not
T,
leaving the house, Rylan, ever. That's it. She's handcuffed, and my little boy, because I don't want him ever becoming them on the show.
Oh!
Hey!
So what do you...
You're here. You're not in the house there.
What, Russell? What are the stars saying about these two?
Well, I've done both
He's
the charts.
Of course, you've done the charts.
I've done
He's
the
always.
charts.
I'm going to sit down.
The charts are here.
Come on.
And this is a little bit of the Sound of Music.
Oh, wow.
You
Oh,
are
here we go,
16.
another one. He's
I
got
want to
that
throw
here
that
one.
in. It's nothing like the Sound of Music, trust me. This is fun, fun, fun. They'll enjoy it. They will shag like rabbits, and they will absolutely enjoy every moment of it. And then they'll probably walk out on wherever they leave and say, ta-da, and I'll see you another time, baby.
Russell Grant, everyone. Well, we've got to talk about it. Cheebs, I'm going to come to you.
Yes.
Stephanie and Jeremy. Now, this is a bit of a sitch because obviously Stephanie isn't single.
Right.
What are you making of that relationship from inside? You're the one with the knowledge.
Yeah, well, from inside, they are very, very, very close. But the last thing that Stephanie asked me to do before I left that house was to find her boyfriend on Instagram and tell him how much she loves him, because she does love him and she's the sweetest girl. And you know what? You start getting lonely in that house. If I didn't have Gemma smothering me and cracking me in half, I'd want to lay with somebody at one point, but they are really, you know, things could happen, but it's not a legitimate thing that could happen.
Thanks, Jonathan. Russell, I know you've got a chart there. I'm going to come back to you in a second because you've just brought up Stephanie's boyfriend, Jonathan. We've actually got some tweets. This is from Steph's boyfriend, Sam, yesterday. He put, "Hi, everyone. I will no longer be supporting Stephanie Davis. Thanks for all your support and love that you've given me. But, hold up. This is the most recent tweet he sent earlier this afternoon, and he put, I would never end a relationship over text or social media. I want to talk to Steph face to face." So, Michelle, you're holding the cheeks. What are we making of the sitch?
Oh my God, I feel so much for Sam, I really do. He must be in a very awful predicament because he's watching his beloved on screen and getting very close to somebody. He doesn't know the situation, it's hard for him to judge. I get why he's backtracked, but he's backtracked for some reason unbeknown to us. But at the end of the day, she's mugging him off. She is.
And I mean,
You know,
after watching tonight's
I hate to say it, watching
and that exclusive clip, she's not changing her behaviour whatsoever. I have lost any respect for Stephanie whatsoever. She's treating her boyfriend appallingly. And I'm sorry, something is going on. And Jeremy has even admitted that. And during that message, I just think it's disgusting behaviour, actually, I do.
Well, we're gonna have to watch this one unfold.
One last thing. Well, Jeremy also has something going on with David Guest. So we can't take it seriously. Jeremy's very touchy with everybody. I know he lays in bed and cuddles, but I'm telling you, this kid is like a feeler.
But they kiss.
We're gonna have to just sit
I'm
and
telling
watch
you,
it
I
and
was
see
there.
what happens. But listen, on that note, I think it's time to find out now who is up for eviction this week. It's an exclusive,
The first housemaid I wish to nominate is Angie. You know that I adore you, but I don't think that this, right now, is the correct environment for you to be in. My second nomination is for Darren. Over the course of this week, I've seen him go from a happy guy into somebody that has withdrawn. I've seen him pick up a habit, i.e. smoking, that he hasn't used for 18 months in order to cope with being in this house.
The housemates facing this week's public vote for eviction are Nancy, Stephanie, Angie, Jeremy, and Gemma.
People are in here going, "What?" There you go. After the break, we're going to be pulling apart what we have just seen. But before we do, we better turn them blue before we say ta-ta to them too. So the housemates facing eviction on Friday are Nancy, Angie, Gemma, Stephanie, and Jeremy. There you go. It is time for one last break now. Before we go, here's the all-important numbers you need to save your fave. Who stays? You decide. This week, Angie, Gemma, Jeremy, Nancy and Stephanie all face the public vote. Who stays? You decide. From a landline, call 090 20 44 24 and add the number of the housemate you want to save. From a mobile, call 6 44 24 and add the number of the housemate you want to save. For Angie, add 01. For Gemma, add 06. For Jeremy, add 07. For Nancy, add 12. For Stephanie, add 14. Calls to the long number will cost 50p plus your network access charge. Calls to the short number will cost 50p. Voting closes in Friday's eviction show. If you're watching on catch-up after that or outside the UK, please don't vote. Votes cast after lines close won't count. You can find terms on the Big Brother website. Welcome back. Celebrity Big Brother's bit on the side. As we revealed earlier, Angie, Nancy, Gemma, Steph and Jeremy are all up for the chop this week. So let's start with Angie. Cheebs, I mean, Angie's up. Do you think she's going to be in trouble this week?
I don't know. People might feel sorry for her with David Bowie and the whole situation, but she's been very distant from him for a very, very long time. If they take that into consideration, personally, she would be my vote to leave, because I don't know how she's going to survive in that house.
Russell, who do you think maybe went for Angie?
Do you know, I've no idea, because as Jonathan just said, you know, you've got the sympathy factor, you've got the compassion. Maybe they also feel, with compassion, that perhaps she needs to leave the house. So there is that side of it, but I have no idea.
Well, let's move on to Nancy. She is up as well. Dan, why do you think Nancy's been put up?
Because I don't think we've seen the real Nancy yet. She's been incredibly controlled. Although, I will say, in a house with Daniela Westbrook and Christopher Maloney, why on earth anyone else would be nominated, I do not know.
So you think Chris and Daniela should have been up?
Yeah.
Why?
I cannot cope with either of them.
Just not a fan. You're just not a fan.
Yeah, exactly.
Just not a fan. Well, listen, we are talking about Nancy. Michelle, you've been a housemate in there. What is it like when people don't pull their weight around that house?
I mean, it's obviously awfully frustrating for the rest of the housemates when you're constantly picking up other people's rubbish and washing dishes and nobody's being thankful for that. But to be honest, I'm not quite sure why she is nominated. I don't feel like I've seen enough of her to understand why she's been nominated.
Jonathan, why do you think Nancy is up?
Because she kind of doesn't do anything. To be honest, I like her so much as a person, but she stays honestly in bed till an hour after I've eaten breakfast, gotten ready. And then when I come back, like an hour after that, no, she's not in bed. Then she starts her hair and makeup process.
Right.
So we are like halfway through the day, and Nancy is still sitting alone while everybody's been out. And then at night, we all get into bed, and she goes, I need to shower now. And they won't turn off the lights until we're all in the room.
Yeah.
And Nancy comes in an hour, we're all waiting, like, come on, Nancy. And she walks in.
Like you say, she's always doling herself up in there. She takes pride in her appearance. Russell, she is all completely glamour, but is that enough?
She is one of my closest friends, is Nancy. And
oh, here we go. My good friend Nancy.
It's called Strictly Come Dancing. And who can ever forget Nancy coming out the coffin with a glass of champagne?
I mean, there she is. There she is.
She looked gorgeous last week when she was up against Winston. The glitter, the glam.
But is the glamour enough?
No, you're not getting the real Nancy. She is funny, she is hilarious, but you need to get her. She expects, when she clicks her fingers, to people to come running. But that's part of the fun. But, you know, when she did the Edinburgh Festival the same year as me, all of the audience were gays, like you.
I am.
And me.
Really?
And me.
Don't tell anyone, Russell. It's a secret.
And young people.
Yeah.
And
they
that's
loved
what
her.
I don't get.
I know. Well, she might need to start pulling her weight a little bit.
Yeah,
in there.
well, maybe she needs to.
Well, let's talk about our next potential evictee, the GC. She's just lost Cheebs, and now she's facing that vote. Your UK BFF is absolutely devo that you've walked out. Now she's found out that she's up. How do you think she's going to be feeling?
I think she needed this, because for days she's been laying in bed as well with no makeup on. And I told her, I can't, I'm Gemma, and I said, I can't look at you like this. Like, you look like a mess. You need to get up. I go, get up and go do something. Like, we are always on the run. We're in LA and New York. Like, she laid there, and I'm like, we're doing something here. Get up. She's like, tomorrow. Her thing is tomorrow. Everything is tomorrow.
Oh, it's gone with the wind.
Everything is tomorrow.
Oh, God. Russell, very quickly, how do you think Gemma's going to get on without her sidekick?
Oh, she'll move on. She's fine. She's an Aquarian. Jonathan doesn't want to hear this, but she'll find somebody else.
She's going to find someone else. Well, listen, let's move on to Steph. She has been right at the forefront of a little situation that's going on there. Dan, in your opinion, why do you think the House have put her up?
Probably because they feel sorry for her boyfriend on the outside as well, even though they might not be prepared to actually say that. It's clearly an uncomfortable situation, isn't it? But just back to the last thing, I want to know, Jonathan, are you going to introduce Gemma Collins to Kim Kardashian? That's the big question, because that's what she wants.
Dad.
Is that what she wants?
Yeah.
No comment.
No comment, no comment. Michelle, back to Stephanie. Do you think people want to see, maybe the housemates might want to see Stephanie a bit more of her on her own without Jeremy?
I don't feel like Jeremy is an overwhelming force in the twosome. I think it's very much par and par. I think they're both as bad as each other. I think she wants it just as much as he does.
But he's single, though. He is single.
Yeah, that's the bad thing. That's what I mean. So if you're going to put the blame on anybody, you have to put it on Stephanie in that situation, because she's the one with the boyfriend.
The partner. Well, let's talk about Jeremy, because he's up as well. Russell, what are you making of Jeremy? Do you think this situation could potentially damage him in the house?
Not really. I mean, I've looked at their charts together, and there's one word that comes out, and it's called dangerous. Oh. It's like a bit of an Alfred Hitchcock movie. And there's a little bit of Dial M for murder going on here. But really, this is dangerous. And I think the sooner they get over each other and go their separate ways, the better, because otherwise it could be self-defeating and self-destructive.
Yeah. Jonathan, what do you make of Jeremy? Why
you know what? Jeremy's kind of like really the only life in that house. He goes all day. He's so entertaining and he's so fun, and he's one of the people that I will miss the most in that house. He's like the nicest, sweetest person. And I hope he stays.
Well, listen, very quickly down the panel, because I'm running out of time. Dan, who do you want to see out on Friday?
Oh, I think it's got to be Stephanie or Angie.
Michelle?
Angie, but I think Stephanie will go.
Russell?
I think Angie probably needs to go now, yes.
Cheeves? Ange. What are we thinking? Who do we want to see out on Friday?
Nancy.
Gemma.
Stephanie.
Get rid of Stephanie.
Get me Stephanie. I was like, who's that? Who's that?
Nancy.
Nancy.
Angie.
Angie, who else? Anyone else? Stephanie? It's very Angie and Stephanie, I'm not going to lie, but that was a good chat. Give them a round of applause. Now, Jonathan, your time in the house is sadly over, but you've got one more appointment to keep. And I promise you, this won't hurt one bit. It's time for your truth extraction!
Oh, my God. Wow. Oh, no.
Jonathan.
What?
Don't worry. I do all of my own work.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Are you sitting comfortably?
Pretty comfortable.
Sit back, darling. I'm going to fire some quick-fire questions at you, and I want your sharpest response. Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Of course I do.
Then let's begin. Who needs to be extracted from the house next?
Angie, get her out.
Ooh! Would you rather live in the house for a year or let me give you a root canal?
I'll let you give me 3 root canals.
Who would you rather spend an hour in a waiting room with? Kim or the GC?
Come on, Kim. Nothing comes between me and my BFF.
Okay, who's missing a few wisdom teeth?
Oh, definitely Tiffany. I think she's missing the whole mouth.
Okay, snog, marry, or drill? Nancy, Tiffany, and Gemma.
Oh, wow. Well, marry Nancy.
Oh, we're alive!
Oh, thank God!
Wait. It's time to gargle and spit. Who has been drooling over you in the house? Who from your housemates said the following about you? I don't know how long he may be, but he's thick. He's going to give you a mouthful. Was it A, Tiffany, B, Gemma, or C, Christopher?
That sounds like Tiffany. She's filthy like that.
You think Tiffany?
Yeah.
You were right, it was Tiffany! He got it right! How'd you feel? You feel all right?
I'm okay.
You look lovely.
I'm okay.
Listen,
I'm okay.
That is it for tonight. Give it up for our panel and our audience. Big thank you to Jonathan as well. On tomorrow night's show, we've got another dream lineup. The former housemates with plenty to say. Louisa Zisman's going to be here. Strictly Pro dancer Robin Windsor is going to be waltzing his way onto my panel. Former EastEnder Nina Wadia Zainab's going to be here. And it's the big return of our resident funny man, Matt Richardson. You can catch up with Live from the House now. But for us, it's night-night. See you tomorrow.